Assalamu alaikum. I am Delwar Chaudhary, Assistant Teacher of Nabinagar Government Pilot High School. Dear students, how are you? I hope all of you are very fine. And I am also fine by the grace of Almighty. And I am grateful to my Almighty because the whole world is suffering from COVID-19 virus. But still now I am okay and healthy and free from COVID-19. That's why I am very much grateful to my God. Okay students, today I want to make a good discussion on a grammar, and that is changing sentence, and you know it as transformation. What does it mean? Transformation means to change a sentence into another sentence without changing its meaning. I am saying to change a sentence into another sentence without its meaning. That means we have no right to change the meaning of a sentence, but we have to change its structure. Okay? So guys, let us discuss on whiteboard. So our today's topic is affirmative to negative. That means we have to change a sentence into negative from affirmative. At first, I want to write a sentence on the board, and that is, you are a good student. Okay? And we know very well what does it mean. And it is an affirmative sentence. Have you any doubt? Of course not. Undoubtedly, it is an affirmative sentence. Okay? Now, we have to change it into negative. When we hear the name of negative, there is a word comes out in our brain, and it is not. That means to make a sentence negative, we have to use not. Okay? And this is a very important word for making a sentence negative. Okay? At first, I am writing the subject, and then we will need an auxiliary verb. Without auxiliary verb, we can't use not. That means if you want to use not, we must have an auxiliary verb. Okay? And in this sentence, luckily, we have an auxiliary verb. Are is not only an auxiliary verb but also a principal verb in this sentence. That's why we can say that are is a linking verb. Okay? So now we can use are as an auxiliary verb. You are, and now we will put not. You are not. That means we are going to make a sentence negative. Okay? When we will find an adjective or verb or adverb in this sentence, then we have to use its opposite word to make a sentence negative. In this sentence, good is an auxiliary verb, adjective. So instead of good, we have to use its opposite adjective. That means bad and student. Okay? So you are a good student, you are not a bad student. So if we don't find any difference between the two sentences, have you found any difference? No, obviously not. So you are a good student, you are not a bad student. At first, I have written the subject, then an auxiliary verb, and not. And you have to remind that without auxiliary verb, we can't use not. Then, if we find any adjective, verb, or adverb in this sentence, we must use the opposite word of this verb, adjective, and adverb. And in this sentence, we have found an adjective, and we instead of good, we have to use the opposite word of good, that is bad. You are a good student, you are not a bad student. Now come to the second sentence. I like tea. Do you like tea? But I like tea very much. I don't know why, but from my boyhood, I like tea very much. Okay. In this sentence, I have found that there is a subject, and that is I, a verb like, an object T. Okay, we have to change it into negative. We know very well that if you want to make a sentence negative, you need an auxiliary verb. But unfortunately, in this sentence, there is no auxiliary verb. What can I do? To make it negative, we must use an auxiliary verb. Then we have to borrow, okay? And do, does, and did. 3 auxiliary verbs are used when there is no auxiliary verb, okay? When the verb is present form, we can use do or does, and when the verb is past form, we can use did. In this sentence, the verb is present form, that's why we have to use do or does, okay? At first, I have to write the subject, and now I had to use an auxiliary verb. But which auxiliary verb we can choose? If the subject is first person, second person, and third person plural number. If the subject is first person, second person, and third person plural number, then we can use do. Okay? And if the subject is third person singular number, we can use does. Okay? Do is perfect for subject I. Okay? I don't, then I can use not. In this sentence, I am looking that there is a verb. Okay? There is a verb. So we have to use the opposite verb instead of like, and that is dislike. And dislike is the opposite verb of like and tea. Okay, I like tea, and if you want to make it negative, there will be I do not dislike tea. Okay, boys, now I want to go the third sentence. He is walking fast. He is walking fast. In this sentence, there are verbs and there is an adverb. Fast is an adverb. It is modifying the verb. That's why we can say that fast, the word is adverb. If you want to make it negative at first, I will write the subject, then auxiliary verb, and now I must put not to make it negative. And walking. Now come to the point. Few seconds ago, I have said that if we find some verb, adjective, adverb in sentences, we must use the opposite word. That's why we can say that must is adverb, and we have to use the opposite word of this adverb, and that is slowly. He is walking fast. He is not walking slowly. Okay. So in this way, guys, we can change sentences from affirmative to negative, and it is very easy and very easy. But you have to follow the rules, and you need some sincerity to understand what I am saying. So, guys, I want to go the fourth sentence. Look at the board, please. Only Allah can help us. Okay? In this sentence, only is the key word. Look at the word only. In this sentence, only is the key word. Okay, fine. If you find only with a person or Allah, look at me. If you find the word only with a person or Allah, you must use none but instead of only. Okay? Instead of only, none but Allah can help us. Okay? Look at the sentences. Both sentences show the same meaning. only Allah can help us, none but Allah can help us. In this sentence, we have to follow the main keyword, and that is only. When we find only with Allah or person, okay? If you want to use a person such as only you can help us, that's the same. We can use you in this sentence, okay? Only you can help us, none but you can help us. That means if you find only with a person or Allah, that means God, creator, then you must use none but with, instead of only, and that's the rule, nothing else. Very easy, okay? The fifth sentence is she likes only toys. She likes only toys. If you find only with any material things, then you have to use nothing but instead of only, okay? Nothing else. Simple. I have used nothing but instead of only when we will find only with material things, okay? The sixth sentence is I want only 500 taka. In this sentence, we found that there is only, and if you find only with number, I am saying again, if you find only with number, you can use I want not more than 500 taka, okay? If you find only with number, you can use instead of only not more than or not less than 500 taka, okay, fine. So guys, I have discussed six sentences, and that means 6 rules. So I hope all of you are very much curious to know the special thing in these sentences, because they are very much easy to understand. I think it is not tough at all. If you practice sincerely and regularly, it is very easy. It is very easy. Just you need sincerity, okay? You have to be attentive in the sentences and to practice your reference books. So guys, I want to close this class for today. I hope you will attend my future classes to understand about transformation, and these classes will be fruitful for you. Thank you very much. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.